on, everyone? Darkside Phil here. Whoops, sat in the wrong spot. And welcome to the weekend preview for May 27th, 2012. A newly refreshed and relaxed DSP. That's right. After a very busy, crazy week, to be completely honest, I can't believe I'm filming the weekend preview right now. I feel like I just filmed the one last week. That's how crazy this past week was, with gaming, with events, with bugs, with great news about travel, and all kinds of stuff going on this week. It just blew by in a whirlwind for me. And so what I'd like to do, as always with these weekend preview videos, is tell you all about what I did in this past week, get people up to speed on some stuff they may not be aware of simply because maybe you didn't see some of the channel updates and videos and such that I put out in the past week. And then I want to get you up to speed on what's coming up this week, because this week in particular I think is going to be a pretty damn good week for multiple reasons, including some really good DLCs / installments of episodic games that I'm really looking forward to play, and it seems like the fans are really pumped for this as well, so let's talk about that. But first, let's review, okay? So this past week, as you know, 1 week ago today, I spent the entire day filming episode 4 of Project 7, got really badly sunburned. As you can see, I'm pretty much back to normal, although my arms are peeling skin. It's pretty gross. Then they are still pretty pinkish. Everything else, like my neck, my face, is pretty much, it's tan, but it's not in pain or anything anymore, so that's good. And then on Monday of last week, I decided I would finish off Max Payne 3 by doing fan appreciation matches during the course of the day, which I did. Played a couple different sets of fan appreciation matches with the fans so that I could get a feel for the multiplayer of the game. And then I actually did a Hateful Truth review of both Max Payne 3 and Diablo 3. So check those out if you haven't yet seen them. I know a lot of people didn't actually, were asking me during the week. I got a couple people asking about the Max Payne 3 and Diablo 3 reviews when I was going to do them. I was like, I did them on Monday, dude. Like, you didn't see it? Apparently a lot of people didn't. And I'm going to tell you why. We'll get into that as we get further into the week, okay? On Tuesday, big release day, 4 new releases, although none of them were like AAA huge giant games that I think anyone was like flipping out ready to play. Still some pretty decent games with Dragon's Dogma, Ghost Recon Future Soldier, Sorcery, and Men in Black Alien Crisis. So I decided to do, well, I did a release day unboxing video, obviously, and that first day I split up my gameplay. Half the day I played Dragon's Dogma, half the day I played Men in Black. The next day I played entirely Dragon's Dogma. So there's a playthrough up of maybe around 45 parts, I want to say. I'm not exactly sure how many are up. It's 40-something parts. And a lot of people were giving me feedback such as, Phil, this game's, it's an okay game, it seems interesting, but you're going too fast, and it's hard for us to stay caught up with the playthrough. Plus, it is starting to get a little bit on the annoying side because there is a lot of exploration in the game where you kind of have to walk around and explore different areas to know where to go. And I got to a point in the game where I had several quests that were open, but I didn't know where to go because I hadn't uncovered the world map yet. And so I said, alright, I'm going to put Dragon's Dogma on hiatus for several days because what I want to do is take the opportunity to grind a little bit in the game, to possibly open up this world map, explore the world map, which is probably going to be repetitive, boring gameplay for everyone. It's just going to be a lot of repetitive combat. What I do have to say is I have grinded several days this past week. My characters have leveled up significantly. They're now level 30, and I actually have 2 extremely high-level followers because the way that this game works is that you create a pawn who can be used by other players. And if other players use your pawn, you get what's called Rift Crystals, which allow you to buy more powerful pawns. Well, so many people have used my character over the past week that I was able to buy level 50, and now I think I have like a level 56 level pawn with me, and they're really fucking powerful. So we're just going over the world map, fighting monsters, and what I've been doing is using the Facebook feature of the game, that when I run into something really interesting, I take a picture of it, and it goes up on my Facebook account. So that's a reason for you to check out my Facebook account. As I'm grinding through this game, you get to see some really cool things. Like, for example, I ran into a giant dragon, and it is just a random spawn. It's not like a special monster or anything that's a boss, but it's just there in the game in the overworld, and I fought it for 45 minutes and finally killed it. 45 minutes of footage of me fighting the dragon wouldn't have been very interesting, but it's cool that now I fought the dragon. When I start recording again, I can talk about the strategies I used to kill it. I've now uncovered most of the overworld map, especially the areas where I need to go to do these quests that are critical to the story. So when I resume the Dragon's Dogma playthrough, which I will, and I'll tell you how that's going to happen this week later on in the video, I'm going to have a more open world aspect. I'm going to go straight to the point, do the quest, advance the story, keep it moving, okay? So anyway, yeah, Dragon's Dogma playthrough was put on hiatus, but I have been grinding. pretty much every night this week. Then I finished the Men in Black games campaign, to which I was very surprised. The game actually was extremely short. It's only 19 parts, the campaign playthrough. It's only a 3-hour game. It's a $60 game. Now, I haven't reviewed it yet because there are a couple other modes in the game that are supposed to be for co-op gameplay and also for like challenge mode gameplay. I really don't see there being anything significant. Now, I'm going to tell you why I haven't reviewed the game yet or done those game modes yet a little bit later in the video. Okay, then Friday was supposed to be Fan Appreciation all day. I was going to play Ghost Recon Future Soldier with the fans starting at 1 p.m. and I was going to play till like maybe 9, 10 p.m. Well, I played for about 3 hours, and then I had a set of videos that I created, maybe 10 videos, and then I said, well, alright, I'm taking a break, I'm going to go get some food, I'll be back. Came back around 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Ubisoft servers were down for a good like 4 straight hours. Now, this was the time I was going to play. So unfortunately, Fan Appreciation kind of got cut extremely short very early, and I apologize for that. I'm rescheduling it for this coming week. I will explain to you when I talk about this coming week what day it's going to be on. So if you have the game, if you still want to play it, you still have a chance to play it with me next week, okay? Alright, so then on Saturday, John Rambo came over. We filmed a new episode of Smart Guys. And I said to John, here's the thing. I've got a couple of games that have co-op in them. I've got Ghost Recon Future Soldier that has this guerrilla mode co-op. I've got Men in Black that's got these challenge mode co-ops. Do you want to do them? And he said, actually, no. He's not interested in that kind of stuff. In fact, originally we were going to play Ghost Recon Future Soldier as a campaign co-op until we found out that the game falsely advertised before it was released that it even had split-screen campaign co-op. It does not. It only has online multiplayer campaign co-op, so we're unable to play the campaign together, and so he really didn't want to play the guerrilla mode. So we just did some random stuff on Saturday. We basically had a day of Sega-rama. We played 3 old Sega Genesis games, including Cyborg Justice, which is a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up where you actually rip limbs off of cyborgs and beat the shit out of them with them. An interesting premise. Ends up being pretty funny. First of all, we have no idea how to control the game at the beginning, and then later on when the game becomes extremely repetitive after I find out a way to abuse the whole game system, we do beat the game. It just takes quite a while. So that we did. We also played some matches of Mutant League Hockey. One game it has very challenging difficulty, especially when you're playing the computer. We teamed up against the computer and played some matches of that. And then we did a full playthrough of Streets of Rage 2. That's right, the most famous side-scrolling 2D beat-em-up on the Sega Genesis. We beat it from start to finish, and you can see all that here on DSPGaming. Today I took off as a day of relaxation, and let's get into that and explain what happened. Well, over the course of this past week, some really positive stuff happened and some negative stuff happened. Let's talk about the positive first. The positives are, I am now 100% cinched in for E3. Both John Rambo and I will be attending. We now have our E3 passes, okay? And so we are extremely psyched to talk about that. And, it's June 5th through 7th, but we're actually going to be traveling June 4th and coming back on June 8th. So we're going to have all kinds of footage that week of our trip log, being in Hollywood, because we're actually staying in Hollywood, California in our hotel. And we're going to have extra time, days to spend there, so that's going to be awesome. We're going to have full con coverage. Every day we're going to have new videos, recap videos of what we saw at the con. I'm going to be editing. We actually have some fans that have been submitting video intros on my website and logos and such that we can use in these videos. It's going to be a week full of amazing video game coverage, and I'm really excited about it. And so is John, by the way. John's always wanted to attend. I've always wanted to attend. We finally made it after years of doing stuff on YouTube. We finally got the notoriety and the clout with Machinima that they're sending us out there. So special thanks to Machinima for making that all happen. We're extremely pumped about that, okay? In addition to that, I got some news about Too Many Games, which is the gaming convention we'll be attending in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania between June 15th and 17th. And the news is that our panel is now scheduled for Saturday, June 16th at 2 to 3 p.m. During the panel, we're going to be talking a little bit about my YouTube career, about what John and OJ do on YouTube. Our plan is to premiere episode 4 of Project 7 if it's done by then. If not, we're going to have something to show you. John and OJ actually are whipping up something that they're going to have special for the convention to present during the panel. They've given me the idea of what it is. I think it's going to be really neat. So if you're a fan of ours, make it out there June 16th from 2 to 3 p.m. as our panel. And then from 3 to 4 p.m., there's a block that the convention is basically cutting off for us to do meet and greets and autographs with the fans. So from 3 to 4 p.m., myself and the other 2 scheduled guests for Too Many Games, the Angry Video Game Nerd and also Brental Floss, will be there to meet and greet with the fans, to shake hands, to sign whatever you have. We're going to have a special, blocked off time for that. The one other thing that I do want to kind of talk about is there is still this special after party with the mini bosses, with Angry Video Game Nerd, myself, with Parental Floss. We're all going to be at this after party on Saturday night. It actually takes place at Arnold's Family Fun Center across the street from Too Many Games, the convention center there. And we're going to have fun. We're going to be playing games, have food, drinks. Their mini bosses are going to do an exclusive private concert for us. So it's going to be awesome. Check it out at toomanygames.com if you're interested. It's the final boss pass. There's only a few left from what I'm to understand after speaking with the Too Many Games staff. So please go check that out. Again, if you're a fan, if you live in the tri-state area, if you live in the Northeast, this is your opportunity to come out and hang out with us, okay? So check that out. Alright. That's the positive news, all the updates. E3 and Too Many Games, really positive updates. So the negatives, and this really kind of sucked this week. Big YouTube bug. Subscriptions are plummeting on everyone's channel. At first, YouTube completely ignores the fact. Then they put out blog posts during the week saying that, oh, they're intentionally doing it because they're deleting outdated accounts. However, some of the biggest YouTubers on the internet are saying, no, that's not the case. We're getting thousands of messages from our fans saying that they're active accounts and they're watching our videos every day and they're being unsubscribed from our channels. I myself have gotten hundreds of messages over this past week saying exactly the same thing. And in addition to that, view counts have suffered. This past week, view counts were down. And there's a couple reasons for that. It was exams week for a lot of students. There are some things going on. We are almost heading into the summer months, but not quite. A lot of people are wrapping up stuff with their personal lives. And let's be honest, the games that came out this week weren't AAA blockbusters that everyone was willing to or waiting to see either. So there's a lot of other factors, but I'm willing to bet the fact that hundreds, if not thousands of people have been unwillingly unsubscribed from my channel, from everyone else's channels, that views are down this week overall on YouTube. So it's been a really bummer week for all of us. I finally did contact Machinima on Friday about it. They're working with YouTube now to try to figure out what on earth these guys did when they screwed everything up this week. YouTube had promised that as of Friday, there would be no more cleaning up of accounts, yet people have still seen a steady decline in subs over the past couple of days. Now, it's not as bad as it was, but still, on Saturday, I lost subs. John Rambo lost subs. If YouTube claimed they were done on Friday, why is this still happening? It's a mess, and it's a little frustrating. It's not end of the world right now, but it is really frustrating for someone like me who I rely on YouTube as my livelihood. I'm trying to put out quality content for everyone and keep everyone in the know by communicating with you guys through Twitter, through Facebook, to always let you know what's out and when so that you can see it. And now people, unfortunately, are being unsubscribed from feeds that would let them know what content I'm putting out, and I'm sure it's negatively affecting me. So it has been a little bit of a bummer week in that regard. And then, of course, last night was a nightmare. Last night after John Rambo left and we did all that Sega Genesis co-op gameplay, YouTube just didn't fucking want to do anything right. I was uploading these videos, and keep in mind, these are just raw feed Genesis videos. It's nothing crazy or complicated. I would upload 3 parts, the 4th part would error out, or the 4th part would upload and stuck in processing forever. I'd be forced to re-upload. And the problem with something like this, especially when it's like the Genesis series of games, it's not a game that's a AAA title that everyone's dying to see the next part. It's like, okay, you're going to get maybe a couple hundred people, maybe 1,000 people who are interested in it and they want to watch it when they're uploading. Well, if one video fucks up, they're like, well, I'm not going to sit around and see if the video clears up, and I don't want to skip ahead, so I'm just going to stop watching. And this is what happens when you're trying to upload a series of videos that are queued up on YouTube. If 1 or 2 parts fuck up, that could actually kill your initial view count. And it's really frustrating that here we are, how many fucking years have I been using YouTube? The same bugs from day one still happen. Video stick in processing. I upload a video, it vanishes from YouTube. It never even appears. What the fuck? So I was up, I kid you not, from midnight till 7 fucking a.m. I was uploading these Sega Genesis videos, trying to get them to work properly. Finally, after repeated errors, after videos not working, at like 7 a.m., it was done, and I said, that's it. That's the last straw. I gotta relax, because I was fucking fuming angry at YouTube at that point. Not only did they fuck everything up the past week with subscriptions, with views, now they're gonna fuck me even just to upload some videos that I just did basically for the fun of it with John Rambo. That was it. And I said, you know what, I gotta take some time away. I gotta take a day where I'm not gonna worry about recording, uploading, doing all this stuff. And that was today. I slept in today, I relaxed. I went and spent the day with my parents. You know, we had a nice dinner together. I'm actually trying to help them book some tickets to go on vacation soon. So we had a nice pleasant time, and I came back home. Now it's 9 p.m. and I'm nice and relaxed, and I'm like, you know what? I'm looking forward to nothing more than recording the weekend preview and sitting down after this, and hopefully it uploads fine. Luckily it's only one video, so if it doesn't upload fine, it's not a big deal. I can just re-upload it. And relaxing, maybe having a drink, talking to my girlfriend, playing some Dragon's Dogma, doing some overworld grinding and that, and I can't wait, okay? So now that was a big, I know, huge chunk of review for what happened in the past week. Let's get to what's coming up this week. There's some really fucking good stuff coming up this week. Sorry, I wanted to check to see how much time I had left. I just had to get a lot of stuff off my chest and talk about everything I did this past week. Okay. So there's some leftovers from this past week that I never got to. Like I said, I've been planning on doing the Ghost Recon Future Soldier campaign with John Rambo. However, I never got to it simply because we can't do it. We couldn't do split screen co-op, and I wasn't going to run out and go buy another copy of the game and then try to hook up shit here to get it to work. So I'm going to be doing the campaign of Ghost Recon Future Soldier starting on Monday. And when I say on Monday, probably earlier afternoon, maybe 1 to 2 p.m., similar to how I had started the Fan Appreciation. Here's the thing, okay? I realized that number one, Monday is a holiday in the United States, Memorial Day. So a lot of people have it off from work, a lot of people have it off from school. So that's cool. Number two, if I start it early enough, maybe some people who are international may be able to play. And what I mean is I want to do a full 4-player co-op campaign of Ghost Recon Future Soldier with the fans. Now, I understand there's probably hundreds of fans that want to do this with me. Pretty obviously not all of you can do it, okay? So here's how it's going to work. It's going to work just like with my Fan Appreciation. I'm going to be posting up on Twitter and Facebook on Monday afternoon when I'm going to be starting playing the campaign. And what I would like everyone to do is, if you are interested, to send me a PM at that time on Xbox Live to DarkSidePhil, that's my gamer tag, saying, I would like to play with the campaign with you, please invite me. Now, a couple things. This is different from Fan Appreciation for normal Fan Appreciation multiplayer for a few reasons. Number one, it's going to be an extended period of time. We're not just going to be playing a couple quick multiplayer matches. We're going to be playing for several hours at a time. Probably, I would say, 2.5 to 3 hour blocks, because that's about how long my camera memory card lasts. So we'll probably play 2.5 to 3 hours, take a break while I upload or unload footage and swap around, then reconvene, play some more. From what I've heard, the campaign's roughly 10 hours long. I don't know if it's going to take us that long to beat it. What I would say is I'm going to play at least 2 sessions of 2 to 3 hours on Monday, if not more. And then if we don't beat it, I'd like to continue that on Tuesday until we finally beat the campaign. So what I'm asking people is, number one, understand, if you want to play with me, this is going to be a significant investment of time. It would be ideal if I could have the same 3 people play the whole campaign with me. I know that that might not be exactly 100% viable, but please, if you know that you're only going to have a little bit of time to play, don't throw your hat into the ring and don't send me a PM on YouTube, because that would be unfair to other people who may have the time to dedicate to playing this campaign with me, and you're basically taking their option or a chance out that I might pick you instead of that, okay? Number two, understand that this is something, again, if I would really like it that we dedicate the time to do it, and that we beat it. Not that we start playing it and then all of a sudden, oh shit, well, this isn't working out, see you later, or whatever, you know what I mean? Now, really, keep in mind, I understand that everyone's going to want to play, and I know not everyone's going to get it. Only 3 lucky people can play. If something doesn't work out with someone, like let's say they're playing, all of a sudden the internet connection's awful and there's nothing we can do about it, then maybe I'll go up on Twitter and Facebook and say, guess what, everyone, a spot just opened up. It's not this person's fault, but we need someone else. So even if you don't initially get into these sets to play the campaign, you may actually be able to still do so. So that's the deal. Look for Twitter and Facebook tomorrow, roughly between 1 and 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be posting up and saying, alright, I'm setting up for online campaign, let's get this going, and you might have a chance to play with me. Obviously I'll be recording, you'll be featured in these videos on YouTube. So that's coming up tomorrow, and possibly Tuesday, okay? So now let's talk about Wednesday. Wednesday's a big day this week, because there are 2, that's 4, 2 DLC / downloadable episodic games that people really want to see. Okay, number 1 is the very first and only story-based DLC for Batman Arkham City. It's the only one ever coming out. It's supposedly going to end the story of Arkham City. I guess Arkham City, there are a couple loose ends to clean up. It's coming out this Wednesday, and I'm going to play this, okay? And I'm really excited about it because, as you know, Arkham City, one of my favorite games of 2012, one of my favorite games of 2011, was really enjoying it, and I cannot wait to play this. So that's going to be coming out Wednesday. Also, the next installment of The Walking Dead downloadable episodic game is coming out on Wednesday. What I would like to possibly do is do the Batman DLC and see how long it is. I have no idea how long it's going to be. And then when I'm done with it, if it was relatively short, maybe I'll do The Walking Dead. If not, maybe I'll save The Walking Dead for Thursday. And the reason I say that is on Thursday, it's the last Thursday of the month, and you know what that means. It's time for another edition of Ask the King, which is the fan mail series where you have the chance to send me questions that I will answer for you in this series. And you have multiple ways to submit. You can either submit questions on my website, thekingofhate.com. You can actually, there's a thread there for Ask the King, and there's a actual separate thread there for this specific episode, so you can post up your questions in there. Also, the day of, when I'm actually going to film the episode, I accept Twitter questions at They Call Me DSP, so I'll tweet up on my Twitter, I'm now accepting questions. And for the first time ever, that's right, I will be accepting questions on my Facebook account as well. So be on the lookout on my Facebook account, They Call Me DSP. I'll be putting up a post saying I'm now accepting questions, and just respond to that wall post with your question, and you have a chance that I will grab one of those questions and answer it for you as well. So either the forums, Twitter, or Facebook, 3 ways for you to submit questions for Ask the King this week. I'm on the fence as to when I'm going to upload it, because it seems like if I upload it as the first thing I do on Thursday, it actually doesn't get as many views as if I had uploaded it later in the day. So what I may do is record it early in the day, then play The Walking Dead, upload that playthrough, and then after The Walking Dead, upload Ask the King, so it gets that overnight exposure into Friday, okay? Friday, this is it. This is the redo of Ghost Recon Future Soldier Fan Appreciation. So all day Friday, we're redoing what we did last time. If you want to play Ghost Recon Future Soldier with me, same deal as last week. I'll be posting up on Twitter and Facebook. Send me a PM on Xbox Live. I'll invite you to the game, and we're going to do several lobbies throughout the course of the day. Hopefully the frickin' Ubisoft servers work this time, and we can actually play, and there's no problem. So that's coming up on Friday. On Saturday, things are going to be a little bit different than usual. The reason I say that is John Rambo is not able to come on Saturday and do Smart Guys and do co-op gameplay, because he's actually going to be here on Monday, and we're going to E3 that week. Remember, that coming week. So he's not going to drive down Saturday, then drive down again on Monday. You know what I mean? His car, unfortunately, is on its last legs. There's a very strong chance that it's going to die extremely soon, so he wants to drive it as little as possible. And therefore, what we're going to do is on Saturday, we're going to do a podcast edition of Smart Guys, meaning I'm going to call in, or John's going to call me on Skype. We're going to do audio commentary rather than the video commentary we usually do, and that'll be the episode of Smart Guys for that week. It's up in the air whether or not we're going to do any co-op gameplay. When I say that, John had thrown out the idea, gee, I wonder if there's anything over Xbox Live maybe that we could play or something. I was like, yeah, I'm not sure if anything's coming out, so if we find something to do, we might do it. If not, what I'm planning on doing that day is resuming the Dragon's Dogma playthrough. So after a week and a half hiatus, after several days of me grinding in this game and leveling up and fighting all the overworld monsters and posting pictures on my Facebook, I'm finally going to return to the game, and my plan, hopefully, is that between Saturday and Sunday, I can get a big chunk out of the game, because as you know, on Monday, John and I are going to E3. So what I'd like to do is play a lot of that game. Hopefully, I've opened up enough of the world now that I could just kind of like turbo through all the quests and not have to worry about, oh, I don't know where to go, I'm getting lost, randomly fighting monsters. It'll just be me going from point A to point B and doing all the quests. And I don't know how long the game is. I'm sure it's significantly long. So it's a game I'm enjoying. I'm a little disappointed that a lot of people weren't really enjoying it, or at least in the comments they were saying this game is boring, it's just another open world RPG where it's the same kind of thing as Xenoblade Chronicles and all the other ones. I think it's not. I think it's actually better. I think the combat is really interesting. I think the graphics are great. I think the story is interesting. I'm enjoying it a lot, so I want to keep playing it. So that's my goal, is that kind of like Saturday and Sunday, maybe I can get a big chunk out of that game, if not beat it. I don't think I'm going to beat it. Maybe get a big chunk out of it, so that if we go to E3 and we come back, maybe I'll have another couple days to wrap it up, okay? So, that's the tentative schedule coming for this week. Jam-packed full of footage. You got Ghost Recon, the campaign with fans. You've got the first DLC, or the first and last story DLC for Batman Arkham City. You've got the next episode of Walking Dead. You've got Ask the King. You've got Fan Appreciation for Ghost Recon redo, because it didn't work out last week. We're going to have an audio Smart Guys. Possibility of more Dragon's Dogma this weekend. I'm exploding right now. And that's it. So, lots of stuff coming up leading into E3 week. I hope that you'll stay with me and enjoy the footage. I will see you for gameplay this week. I'm DSP. Thanks a lot. See you then.